Hey y'all!
Welcome to my kitchen. I was born and raised in the South, in a city, and now I live in the Midwest on a farm, and I love it. Other things I love are Jesus, my family, and everything food. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Y'all, I've got Dr. Derek in the kitchen today. Woo! Derek and I were in youth group together millennia ago, and it was a giant youth group, almost like a small city. And we would go out witnessing on Friday nights. We had summer camp called Summer Spree. We had winter camp. We had all these wonderful things, and it was kind of amazing. I didn't know how rare it was. Did you?
I had no idea. It was truly a gift of memories.
It was a gift of memories. And we've kept in touch with this giant group. There were even reunions or 2 or 5. So it's kind of exciting. Now, Derek, you're married to Gail.
I am.
And Gail, she's half French. I love that girl. And she's also brilliant and wonderful. And she worked with me at Family Life years ago. So
our worlds have intertwined a little bit.
I know. It's great. It's great. And Derek, what do you do now for a living?
I'm a physician. I've been working as an ER physician for the last 6 years at the VA in Little Rock.
Okay.
And I recently have moved to an administrative position as Deputy Chief of Staff.
Oh, so do you still work on patients?
I do. I do have clinical hours, which is good.
Okay, I love that, and that's wonderful for family. And Rick had a little bit of a back injury, and you worked on him last night a little bit.
Well, he said he was better today. So.
He was!
He said, I'm better. I'm like, I should do this for a living.
And you do! Good job!
Kind of do, yeah.
Spiritual calling. And I have to mention this because it was such a big deal, and I know that on our Facebook page for our youth group, for Summer Spree, I think it was Ann who sent out a prayer call for everybody to pray because you and Gail were in Mexico. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I was in the ocean with another friend from Barry Hendricks, who's one of our youth group friends.
Yep.
And I was walking out of the ocean 11:30 in the morning, and it was about knee-deep water, and a really big wave, what is called a shore crasher, came in, and it just picked me up and slammed me on my head, and I broke my neck. I had to get a plane to get back here. Found out that I actually had a broken neck, and I had surgery, and I was a quadriplegic for a week, and then after surgery I could walk.
And this is when you were already a doctor.
Yes, this was I'd been a doctor 18 years when this happened.
Wow. It was serious, and I remember Rick and I praying for you as we were all sitting around talking. We relived that last night. It was really interesting to hear your story, and God is so faithful. So he was not done with you yet.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
I'm happy to try to live up to whatever that is.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I'm just glad y'all are here visiting us in Nebraska. And we've talked about doing a show for a while because not only are you a doctor, but you also cook.
I do.
Have you always done that?
I've always been interested in cooking. I've always liked cooking, but I wasn't very good at it because my mother did not like cooking at all. And my father didn't cook. So
I didn't know this.
She didn't. She did not like cook, so I didn't learn from her. And then after I've been married 32 years now.
Salute!
And my wife is an extremely good cook.
Oh, she is.
The French cooking heritage.
Oh, yeah.
So she has taught me a lot. And over the last, 10 years or so, I've kind of started branching out and trying things that I liked, that I wanted to cook. And what I've discovered is that though my body and heart are Arkansan, my stomach is Cajun. So
really?
I
cool.
love Cajun food. I've learned to cook it because I like it. And that's where a lot of my recipes have come from, were things that I've had in New Orleans or things that I've had in Louisiana.
Yum.
And that's what I've kind of branched into.
Yes. And I'm so glad y'all have finally come out to the farm because we always invite people to come out to the farm.
Turns out the farm's a long way away. From Arkansas. We have been going to the Iowa State Fair for a couple years now.
There you go.
Ann, who lives in Des Moines.
Also in youth
And
group.
last year we came up and she talked about how much fun she had visiting Marci. And we said, next year when we do this, we ought to take some extra time and go visit Marci. And I made the mistake of telling Marci this, which meant that I'm now doing a cooking show.
But I love it because you're a man of your word.
I am.
That's always good. We're so glad y'all are here. This is so fun. And you've already ridden four-wheelers today.
Yes.
You haven't done any tractors yet, but you've been in the garden and seen the corn.
I climbed up on the combine.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good enough, good enough. And I know the VA hospital appreciates you so much, and I'm so glad.
The injury is what led me there. I started taking a hard look at my life and what I was doing, and why what I wanted to do and what I could physically do for the rest of my life. And that's kind of how I ended up at the VA.
That's amazing. We love our VA. We love our veterans. We love our military. God uses them.
Oh, yeah.
Freedom isn't free.
I told a friend of mine when he considered coming to the VA, I'm like, it's the first time in my life I've ever seen patients that served me first.
That's well said.
They served me first before I ever got the opportunity to serve them. And
goodness.
Everybody I see has already put on a uniform and served me before I ever get to touch them.
Wow.
So I always remember that.
That's a powerful statement. I love that.
That's why I love the VA. Why I'm happy I'm there.
That's awesome. The VA's glad you're there. You're glad to be at the VA. And we're glad you're in Nebraska. So there you go. Derek, what are we going to make today?
We're going to make corn maque choux, which is corn and it's Maque and choux is CHOUX. Yeah.
Wow. Like a roux.
It is. I never say it right, and my French wife continues to correct me. But I did say it right. It is choux.
Okay. Because Gail can speak French.
She's fluent in French.
She's amazing.
Corn maque choux it's common in New Orleans and kind of all over Louisiana. The base ingredients are corn, celery, onions, bacon, butter, cream.
Yum. Okay, Derek, what do we do first?
First thing that has to be done is the bacon. And the basic rule is you want about 1 strip of bacon for every 1 ear of corn.
Oh!
So if you got 12 ears of corn, you want about 12 pieces of bacon. I was at the grocery store and they had really, of course we're in Nebraska, they had really good looking sweet corn.
Our sweet corn is done, or else we could have given you some sweet corn.
Yeah,
if you would have come 2 weeks ago.
I know, well it didn't work.
The Iowa Fair.
The Iowa Fair was good.
There you go.
There's a name in Cajun cooking called Holy Trinity. And the Holy Trinity is onion, celery, and carrot. And you don't do carrot for this one, but this is 2/3 of the Holy Trinity. That's what this is.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Well, yeah, not the Holy Trinity, but the food Trinity. Yeah, the food Trinity.
God has a sense of humor.
That's right.
So the first thing we do is cook the bacon?
Yep.
Woo! Okay, let's go.
Okay. So what you're going to do with the bacon is you're just going to take out a couple pieces, and again, you're going to cut it into maybe inch and a half squares. All right, so we got our bacon just almost you got some good crisp pieces here. We've taken the bacon out of the oil. We've set it aside. Here we have the blitzed up celery and onion. And again, we've got about twice as much onion as we have celery. It's been in the food processor. And as you can see, it's just kind of all blitzed up pretty good. Take the butter, which in this case is 4 tablespoons, and we're going to put it in the pan and let it melt. Butter's melted. We've got it in the bottom of the pan with the bacon grease still. We have the onion and celery mix, and we're going to put that in the pan. Now, there's some water in this, so be careful. It's going to pop. We throw it down in there, we start mixing it around, and you want to get all this crusty stuff from the bacon off the bottom of the pan. It's called deglazing. We want to cook all that liquid off. It's going to all boil away, which is what the steam is. And then once that happens, and it quits steaming so much, you're going to saute it for another minute or two. So pretty much this is just cutting it off the cob. You want to kind of go down straight like this. You want to get close to the cob, close to the bottom of the kernels. They're going to go everywhere. And you see me kind of struggling here a little bit.
It's a party.
So here's the thing. You want a sharp knife, but you don't want too sharp a knife. Because if you have an extremely sharp knife, then you cut right through the cob when you don't mean to. If you have too dull a knife, then you just beat all the kernels up. So you kind of want it somewhere in between on the sharpness scale. Notice that the onions are brown. There's almost no real liquid in here. A little bit of fat left, but no liquid. So this is ready. So we're going to take the corn that we cut off the cob, and we're going to dunk them in. Now you just stir the corn in. Again, this is raw corn. This is not cooked. We're going to stir it in with the vegetables. So now it calls for about 3 full teaspoons. So this is, you could probably mince about 2 of those small cloves into that teaspoon. So again, for 12 ears of corn, I'm going to shoot for about 2 cups. So there's 1 cup and 2 cups. So we're going to stir that in, and then you're going to cook this for 5 or 6 minutes, and basically you're going to cook some of the water off of the cream to just condense it a little. It makes it a little thicker, creamier if you do. And some salt here. You want just enough to kind of season it, but not so much that it's overwhelming. That is the pepper, which we're grinding to taste. We're just going to let it simmer. Again, this is at a moderate to low heat. And just you see a little bit of steam coming off. You just want to let it reduce a little bit, usually 5 minutes. Okay, so it's reduced down pretty good. We've gotten rid of some of the liquids, gotten a little creamier. We've got our bacon bits that we cooked earlier, and we're going to just dump those in. and we are done. Recently,
Okay.
as part of employee wellness, we're supposed to have our own kind of wellness ideas for
Okay.
everybody.
Okay.
And I have started dragging my office crew and mixing with another office crew, and we're learning a different line dance every week.
Wonderful. I love that morale. So, because we always dance on our show, and we have some guests, some special solid gold dancers in the background.
Okay, so we're done. We have corn maque choux. It is ready to eat. You can put it in individual bowls. For those who want it spicy, you can also have them add individual little bits of cayenne pepper to their own serving.
Oh, that's so awesome. Derek, thanks so much for doing a show with me today.
Not a problem. Have fun.
This is great. Y'all, thanks so much for being with us today and making corn maque choux. Y'all have a great week. Don't forget to thank Jesus.
And enjoy.
See you next time.
Is this heaven?